What is up, everybody, and welcome back to the Phightins Final here on the Edge of Edge of Philly Sports. Wow, the best in Philadelphia Philly post game coverage. This side of the Mississippi, with your boy Matty B, back on the final, and I oh, am I back? Yeah, I'm back. Oh, sorry about that. Technical problems, folks. They fall to 25-30 for the season. They finish up the month of May 10-16, and once again, it was the same recipe. The inconsistencies when certain parts of this game are working, and then others are not. Tonight, it reigns true with the offense. The offense who banged out 9 hits against Carrasco, who came into this game with an ERA north of 6, but could only manage 1 run. And then Mondo Sosa home run. That was the only offense the Phillies could get across home plate today, and they lose 4-1. Aaron Nola on the other side pitched competently. He pitched competently, and 4 runs should be more than enough. Then the Phillies can overtake that with the way this offense is supposedly built. But tonight, it proved to be yet a problem yet again as the Phillies fall 25-39. They lose the series to the Mets, 2-4 now on this season-defining road trip. And as I mentioned, finishing up the month of May, 10-16. That's 2 games. Well, they finished last May. Again, I keep going back to the comparisons of 2022. I'm probably going to keep doing it because the way this season is trending right now, I'm going to have to hold on to them memories as long as I possibly can. But last season, the Phillies finished that abysmal May, as you remember. That was the worst month of the Phillies season. They were 10-18. So I guess the only reason why the Phillies didn't finish 10-18 was they didn't have 2 more games on their schedule. But 10-16 for the month of May, just pitiful. Failing to capitalize on any momentum that they might have had in April. And now we're in a position where we're looking to salvage a game against the Mets, and now on to DC after that in a must-win series. Let's face it, it's a must-win series. I mean, we cannot come off this road trip 2-8. That's definitely not what we need to be thinking about or needs to happen for the Phillies as the season-defining road trip continues on. Let's head on to the box scores of tonight's game. The scoring summary in this thing, the aforementioned Edmundo Sosa home run. It was in the 3rd inning. It got the Phillies actually on the board first. They were up 1-0. And then Canna, who had himself a night, would homer in the 3rd inning, a 2-run shot. And then Canna again would strike in the 4th inning when he would knock a bases loaded 2-out bases loaded 2-run single to give the Mets the 4-1 lead. And that was it. The Phillies could not muster any more offense other than that pitiful 1 run. And that is your final score, 4-1. On the offensive side or offensive highlight side, Canna, how can you not look any further than him? 2 for 3 with a run, 4 RBIs, a homer. He also had a strikeout. He is your Mets offensive player of the night, and it sickens me to say that. On the Phillies side of things, 9 hits is nothing to shake a stick at. They got the runners on base. What a shock. They couldn't score any of them. What a shock. I'm being facetious, of course. It's not a shock. It's what's been happening to this team all season long as they continue to struggle. And let's continue on with the Phillies offensive standout. Bryson Stott, 2 for 5, was probably your number one standout or number one offensive player for the Phillies tonight, even though he did strike out to end the game. Brandon Marsh chipped in with a 2 for 4 as well. Cody Clemens also 2 for 3 on the night, down there in that bottom third of the lineup, providing some offense, I guess. And your man, our guy, Kyle Schwarber, 0 for 3, another 0 for tonight. Strikeout and a walk. His average now drops to 163 on the season. Pitching wise for the Phillies, for the Mets, Carlos Carrasco went 6 strong innings. Again, as I said, brought an ERA into this game north of 6, and the Phillies could not manage to get to him at all. He went 6 hits and run. It was earned, a walk and 4 strikeouts, and he gave up the 1 home run to Sosa. Bailey, Altavio, and Robertson. That David Robertson would come on and nail down the door for the Mets. On the Phillies, Nola pitched well. I mean, he pitched well enough. And you can't have it every night great, but he was by no means bad. But he gave up. He went 4 hits, 4 runs. They were all earned. 3 walks and 5 strikeouts, and the big blow there, the Marcana home run. And that's your ins and outs to this game tonight. And just as I mentioned, another pitiful offensive showing by the Phillies as they wrap up the month of May, 10-16, and now look to salvage a game in the Mets series tomorrow. It'll be the series finale. On the mound for the Phillies, they're going to send a former Met, Ty Walker. He'll be opposed by Max Scherzer. The game is at 1:10, so a matinee out there at Citi Field before the Phillies will head off to D.C. on Friday and start their weekend set. And yeah, where's everybody's feelings right now? Now, I'm going to run over some stats with you because that's what we do here on this show when I host it. Bring out the old Matty B stat sheet. I'm only going to touch on one of them tonight. Phillies were 0 for 7 with runners in scoring position on the night. Over the last 6 games, folks, the Phillies have gone 6 for 34 with runners in scoring position. 6 for 34 with runners in scoring position over the last 6 games. You heard that right. 6 for 34 with runners in scoring position over the last 6 games. That's a batting average of 176. As this team continues to just befuddle me with their offensive inconsistencies, and yet nothing seems to be changing with this team. And I don't know if there's really anything you can change at this point, but there's no lineup shakeups going on. Nobody's being benched. Why can anybody, again, explain to me why Kyle Schwarber still has a spot in the lineup, batting 163? He's batting 163. I went on a rant on my show last night saying how much of an embarrassment it was to this city, an embarrassment to the Phillies fans that had this guy being herded out there every night to absolutely no benefit for anybody. And it continued tonight. So now he's down to 163. I want to see how low he can go. How low can Kyle Schwarber take his batting average? Is it possible that Kyle Schwarber can hover around 100? I mean, is that where we're headed here? Because I want to see. Now it's almost like a car accident when you drive by it, right? You want to see it. You want to see how bad it can be or how bad it is. Boy, I want to see if Kyle Schwarber can go all the way down to 100. Does anybody out there think that that's possible? That Kyle Schwarber could end up batting 100 at some point this season? Now, I know June is here, or it will be here tomorrow. It will be here in a couple hours, hour and a half. And it's hitting season, allegedly, for Kyle Schwarber in June. But, boy, I'm intrigued. I want to see if he can go all the way down to 100. A 100 batting average for a man making like $5 million a year. I want to see that with my own eyes because that would be utterly amazing. And that would be such a Philadelphia Philly thing to have happen, right? It really would. So let's take a look around Major League Baseball tonight. Let's talk about some of the games that are still ongoing. In the bottom of the 8th, the Twins are all over the Astros 8-2. In the bottom of the 3rd, out in Arizona, it's 5-0 Diamondbacks over the Rockies. Top of the 5th in Seattle, Yankees and Mariners 0-0. Games that have gone final: Detroit over the Rangers 3-2. The Angels over the White Sox 12-5. The Rays over the Cubs 4-3. The Guardians over the Orioles 12-8. The Braves over the Athletics 4-2. Pirates over the Giants 9-4. The Nationals over the Dodgers 10-6. Marlins over the Padres 2-1. The Brewers over the Blue Jays 4-2. And the Reds over the Red Sox 5-4. And that is your night in Major League Baseball. And tomorrow, Max Scherzer will be opposed by Taijuan Walker. Or I should say Taijuan Walker will be opposed by Max Scherzer. 1:10 start out at Citi Field as the Phillies will wrap up their series with the Mets for heading out to D.C. over the weekend to battle the Nationals. And don't forget, for those of you out there who are looking to get your Phillies sports strip on, look no further than phillysportstrips.com. The Eagles schedule, of course, has been released, and we already know the dates, the times, the trips. Head over to phillysportstrips.com and check out everything for your Eagles needs. But also don't forget that they do have other needs to be filled over there, and that is your Phillies trips. They're planning a trip out to Wrigley. They're planning a trip out to Pittsburgh, and they're also planning a trip out to San Diego later on in September. Bottom line is head over to phillysportstrips.com. check out everything they have to offer. And if you have workman's compensation, motor vehicle accident, personal injury, or criminal law questions, Dave Cherry is the man to call, 610-565-0300, and he'll take care of you. If you're looking for those hard-to-find great sports concert and theater tickets, look no further than Sherry's Tickets Town, www.sherrystickets.com. Family owned and operated since 1946. Save an additional 10% when you enter the promo code EOP10. And Dolan's Bar down there in 24 East Sellers Ave in Ridley Park, PA. That's in Delco for all you people who do not know where Ridley Park is. Like I did not know at one point, even though I guess I lived like 25 minutes from there my entire life, but I never knew it existed. But it's in Delco. For Quizzo music, great times, memorabilia giveaways, head over to Dolan's and go visit PJ and the crew over there. So 4-1 Phillies, and it just continues. I haven't followed the last 5 or 6 games. Have to keep my BP down. Jeff, I feel you, man. I feel you. I definitely feel you. But yeah, over the last 6 games, 6 for 34 with runners in scoring position, a 176 batting average. They're reaching new offensive lows, and now the grumblings and the groaning and the moaning is going to continue. I'm starting to hear it now about Rob Thompson's job. And you know, and I'm not an advocate of firing Rob Thompson. I just think optically it would be the wrong thing to do to fire your managers and at the same time, 2 different seasons. And what would that also do to the National League All-Star game? Rob Thompson's supposed to manage that bad boy for the National League. I don't know how that would make us look kind of foolish, but something's got to be done with this team. Something's got to be done with the lineup. Kyle Schwarber needs to be sat down. There's no reason to be hurting him out there every game. And I'm not even advocating pushing him down the lineup. No, I need him out of the lineup. He needs to sit for a couple days, clear his head, maybe take a look at things from a different vantage point. I don't know. I don't need him in the lineup. Let somebody else play. He's not producing anyway. What harm can it be? Don't give me hitting season either. I'm not buying that. I said it on my show last night as well. He gets paid April through October, so he should be hitting April through October, not just in June. I'm not gonna hold my breath for that anymore. But Kyle Schwarber, it needs to come out. And listen, I know I'm bagging on Schwarber, but it's not just him. Obviously, it's the entire team that is just really just underwhelming right now. And Dave Dombrowski shares a huge part of this as well. A huge part of this. The plan was wrong in the offseason. He did not address starting pitching adequately enough. And obviously, some of those big name players, Trey Turner, has not worked out to date. Nick Castellanos has batted okay. The Bryce Harper injury thing, yeah, I get it. But these were pre-known conditions, right? We knew Bryce Harper was going to be this way this year. Why wasn't there more done more to kind of safety net that? The bench wasn't adequately addressed. Josh Harrison he's not even an every other or every 20th day player anymore in his career. Why, but that's the bench. The bench that we have in this team is inadequate. Everything essentially that the Phillies had an opportunity to kind of build upon in 2022 on that success, they missed the mark in the offseason. And Dave Dombrowski shares the majority of blame for that. It's just his plan, his architecture. It's time to start flinging criticism his way as well. It's pathetic. It's embarrassing that this is the product that we're watching every night. Over the last 2 series against the Braves and the Mets, maybe not so much against the Braves, but in the Mets are one of the elite teams in the NL East. Like it or not, they are. And they're kind of, it's like a cat and a mouse right now. They're playing with us. We're never even in this thing. I knew even when they were up 1-0, they weren't in this game. It's kind of pathetic. It's pathetic right now the way this team is playing. It's pathetic the way they're hitting. It's pathetic in a lot of different ways. All the shots that were shown of Rob Thompson that I saw tonight on the MLB Network broadcast, guess where Rob Thompson's head was? Down and in a binder. When did this start? Like Binder Rob. That's right. Binder Rob has emerged, and now he's in the binder. So, what are we seeing? What are we waiting for? And what are we watching here? It's really bad. It's really bad. Maybe they will start hitting when the games won't matter. Well, Walter, at this rate, that should be in a couple weeks. No, I don't know. We've been saying this all season, Walter, right? We've been saying it all season. They're going to start hitting now, and then everybody goes to the safety net of June. June's the month. What happens if they don't start hitting this month? What happens in June when they don't come out of this? Is the season over? Or are we going to say, okay, well, they're more of a second half team now, right? There's a ton of baseball left to play. Nothing is set in stone. There are only 5 games under 500, and I get with the third wild card, everything is still on the table. But legitimately, right now, when you look at this team does not scream World Series or even a playoff contender. There's just no way you can make me believe that right now. It's that far out of reach, in my opinion. So 4-1 is your final tonight. The Phillies go down magnanimously, quietly, pathetically, embarrassingly, quietly. I can't say quietly already, just without putting up much of a fight. And tomorrow they'll look to salvage a game in this series before heading off to DC. And we will have it for you on the Phightins final. Let me throw up the little thing there, the graphic there, the lineup. Tonight, you had some party on Broad, Philly Press Box Radio, and just moments ago, they just went off the air, the Edge of Philly Sports Live, the flagship show. And then tonight, and me and Phightins final. Then tomorrow, uh, the attacking third, and we will be with you at some point in the afternoon, wrapping up the game against the Mets, the season finale. Until then, folks, it is always a pleasure to spend a few minutes with you every night. And we've got some more comments here. What is Schwarber's lifetime average? No wonder he hasn't lasted any place he's been because he can't hit. Yeah, well, Schwarber's lifetime average, I believe, is somewhere around 190, I think, or maybe it's between 190 and 210. You're right. Obviously, there's an issue there. And Linda wants to know what's the solution. Linda, I don't know. And that's the most frustrating part about all this is that uh, I don't think anybody knows the solution. And I think the people that really have the opportunity to fix it don't know what the solution is because I think that they're a little taken back by some of this. The starting pitching thing. You could always sit here in hindsight that the starting pitching issue and say, well, we had a great plan, which they didn't and didn't work out. There's trades available for maybe to upgrade the starting pitching. Maybe there's people rounding in the form, back from injury, Ranger Suarez, etc. I don't know what. There's no blockbuster trades happening in late May because there's nobody that really feels what I say, except for the Oakland A's, that they're out of it yet. So no one's prepared to kind of blow their thing up right now and start wholesale trading. And that doesn't start for another couple months. And so do we try to tread water till we get there? I don't know. I don't know what the magic wand is here because I don't know if there is one. Because the bottom line is they can't hit situationally. Situationally, they cannot hit, and they're not even hitting home runs at this point either. One, as I said, 6 for 34 with runners in scoring position over their last 6 games, a putrid 176 batting average, and yet nothing changes with the lineup. Because I don't think, as I mentioned, I don't think there's who are we changing it with? There's nobody waiting in the wings, and it just didn't work. Well, I should say right now it's just not working. I'm not going to say it hasn't worked. It's just not working right now, and I don't know. I don't know the answer, and I don't think Dave Dombrowski knows the answer. I don't think the answer is here. I think it's a wait and see approach. A lot of baseball left, but something's got to give. This was the time last year that something gave, right? Something gave at this point. We fired the manager. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that's what we need to do, but something needs to be shaken up about this team right now. Players need to sit. Players need to be sent down. Players need to be brought up. Something drastic has to happen, maybe just short of firing the manager. And I don't know. And I don't know the answer to that question, Linda. And it's bothering me that I can't help you out because I don't know the answer. I don't. Um, I don't. I don't know if it's I don't know if it's an answer that can be taken care of in the next few days. It might be something that spread over the next couple of years. Better trades, better off-season plan. I don't know. I don't know, but it's frustrating. It's frustrating, and I feel your pain. Trust me, I feel it. That's going to wrap me up. I'm going to go out on that note. Again, thank you all for tuning in. Thank you all for being present. Tomorrow, don't forget, I'm not sure, it might be Pat tomorrow coming back at you to wrap up the Mets series. I will see you again on Sunday as we will talk Phillies Nationals when they wrap up that series. But we got you covered between now and then with Phillies post game shows every day after every game make sure you're tuning in to the Edge of Philly Sports and the Phightins Final. Till we talk again, I want to say it, go Phils.